So very early on in my pregnancy, people at work would come up to me and ask me if I've had any cravings yet. And I would say, yeah, I've had cravings. I'm craving meat. I actually ate chicken last week. Then they'd be like, yeah, but have you had any weird cravings? Like, you know, like the pickles and ice cream thing? So now that I am halfway through my pregnancy, I still have never craved any really weird cravings, any weird combinations, but that doesn't mean that I haven't had any cravings. And since I haven't been able to tell anybody at work what my actual cravings are because they're not very interesting, I'm gonna tell you guys what my actual food cravings have been throughout this entire pregnancy, and also why I am probably most likely craving those things. Our ability to taste has really been shaped by our evolution as humans. As humans found different foods and started consuming different things to see if they were edible or poisonous or not, the foods that were less nutrient dense or just provided us with less energy, less calories, we sort of learned to not really enjoy those flavors as much. And on the opposite side of the spectrum, the foods that were highly nutrient dense or highly energetic for us, like high calorie foods, those ones became really pleasant tasting to us. And when those foods become familiar to us, and when I mean us, I mean our actual physical bodies, when it becomes familiar to our bodies start to anticipate the sort of reaction that we will get from consuming those foods. So that reaction could be, you know, lots of energy, or it could be a sense of pleasure, or whatever it might be. Our bodies start to learn about these different foods, not only over a process of thousands of years of humans eating these foods, but also just the process throughout your lifetime. Your body is learning what you are consuming and what that food will provide for your body. So if your body is functioning properly, is functioning healthfully, optimally, then your body will know which foods it's going to require, which foods it wants to consume in order to provide you with whatever you may be low on at that particular time. So this is where we get our cravings from. I found that before I was pregnant, I didn't really have many cravings at all throughout the days, throughout the weeks. But now that I am pregnant, I am finding, especially as the pregnancy goes on, I am finding that I am developing cravings, which I think is a normal reaction because now that I am pregnant, my body has sort of higher requirements for different nutrients. So what are some of these foods, and why is my body telling me that I need to eat them? So the very first one would be a food group in general, and that is fruit. Pretty much any and all fruit I have really been wanting to eat ever since the very beginning of my pregnancy. So obviously fruit is a huge category, so I can't really say exactly what is in fruit. But when we look at something really basic like just an apple, there are so many nutrients in just a single apple. With apples specifically, they are a high source of boron, and boron is one of those things you hear very little about, but it is a mineral that is really important for building strong bones. When we take a look at oranges, another very basic fruit, oranges contain about, one orange contains about 116% of your daily vitamin C intake. So there's a lot of vitamin C, and vitamin C is a great antioxidant. It's great for your immune system, your brain health, your eyesight. It's also crucial for repairing tissues, especially in the skin and eyes. And when you're developing a little baby, obviously you want to make sure you have all those nutrients that are great for your skin, your eyes, your bones, all of these things. Though oranges don't contain very much iron at all, they do contain a lot of vitamin C, and vitamin C will really help you to absorb iron from the other foods that you are eating. So another very basic fruit that I looked up that I was eating a lot is bananas. And sort of the obvious thing with bananas is that we all think that bananas have a lot of potassium, which they do. Potassium is really good for lowering your blood pressure. And we all know that during pregnancy, high blood pressure can be a problem. It can turn into a serious issue. So the bottom line is that fruits are filled with lots of vitamins, nutrients, antioxidants, tons of things that your body needs while you are pregnant, and even when you're not pregnant, obviously. And also great thing about fruit is that it's filled with a lot of fiber, which is going to help sort of counteract your raising blood sugar levels. Fruit does have a lot of sugar in it as well. The fiber kind of counteracts that. But the great thing about sugar content is that we're getting in all of those extra calories that we need to energize ourselves while we are pregnant. Another great thing about most fruit is that it has a lot of water content. And while we are pregnant, we need more water, more hydration, because we are building a lot of blood. So we need all of that water content to really help us build that blood as well. So another thing that I have been noticing that I've been craving throughout my entire pregnancy is milk products. So why am I craving milk? What is it that milk can give me that my body is looking for? So milk contains several important nutrients, such as calcium, protein, iodine, phosphorus, potassium. It also has a bit of fat that I don't think I was getting maybe enough of before I was pregnant. So when I was tracking all of my food intake and all of my nutrient intake before I was pregnant, some of the things that were slightly lower, that were a little bit more difficult for me to get up there, were calcium. It was protein as well, and potassium, and milk does contain all of those things. So that's probably why my body was kind of craving it as a sort of supplement for those things. So milk also does contain phosphorus, and phosphorus produces energy, which contributes to the growth and repair of tissues. And since I am now growing a tissue, a whole baby inside of me, that does make sense that maybe my body's looking for the phosphorus as well that's in milk. Another thing I've been craving is eggs. I've really been feeling lots of cravings for eggs almost every single day for the past month or two. So eggs are very nutrient rich. They're a source of vitamin A, folate, vitamin B5, vitamin B2, vitamin B12, phosphorus, selenium, and actually one very important nutrient that you don't hear very much about is choline. Eggs are an excellent source of choline, and choline is extremely important when you are pregnant. Choline is used to build cell membranes, and studies are showing that it has a role in producing signaling molecules in the brain. 90% of people are actually supposed to be deficient in choline, so that's why I think that I am maybe craving more eggs, plus just all of the nutrients that are so dense within an egg. So another food that I have been really craving throughout my pregnancy is potatoes. And I think my body really recognizes potatoes because it's something that I grew up on. Potatoes are a great source of potassium, like I mentioned before. And potassium was something that before I was pregnant, when I was tracking my nutrients, I was always a little bit low on. What they actually also are, and the reason that I'm probably craving them the most, is because they are sort of a dense energy supply. Potatoes are packed with more energy than most popular vegetables out there. But it's not just empty calories. Potatoes do have a lot of vitamins and nutrients as well. Another thing I've really been craving lately, or actually my entire pregnancy, is also bread. But more specifically is the type of bread that we buy at our house, which is, I brought it so that I could show you guys. It's by a company called Silver Hills, and it is sprouted grain bread. So we usually get all different kinds, but these are whole grain breads, sprouted grains. And so I'm craving bread. Like, I eat toast like crazy. But if you're craving bread just like regular white bread or something like that, I think it kind of goes along with the craving of potatoes. It just has a lot of energy packed in a very simple, easy to eat package. But if you're craving whole grain breads, or like me, these sprouted grain breads that I'm just loving, they have a lot more nutrients in them as well. So whole wheat bread is a great source of iron, magnesium, and selenium. Those are all very important minerals to the development of you and your baby. Iron is obviously really good for your blood, and we have higher iron requirements for our bodies when we are pregnant. Selenium is necessary for a healthy immune system and to prevent cell damage. There's just so much in here, as well as, you know, a lot of fiber, a lot of good fiber that is really going to help you with your blood sugar levels and your digestion during pregnancy. And bread, you know, it is a carbohydrate, so it's always a good source of energy as well. So something else that I have been craving, and I know there are a lot of women that crave this, is anything sour, but more specifically things that are made with vinegar in them. So like pickles or anything that's pickled really, and just vinegar itself. Like I put vinegar on my salads, I put vinegar on my potatoes. So vinegar actually does not have a lot of specific nutrients, but all vinegars definitely have an acidic component to them. So they're really high in components like acetic acid. So it is antimicrobial, so the acids in the vinegar will actually pass into your cell membranes and kill bacteria. It has a great antioxidant effect on your body. And another thing with vinegar is very similar to vitamin C. Eating vinegar with other foods can actually help your body to absorb the nutrients that are in the other foods that you are eating. So even though vinegar itself may not have technically any great content of nutrients, it can help you absorb nutrients from other foods, which is pretty cool. So vinegar is a fermented product as it is, but if you are craving the flavor of vinegar, you might actually be craving the flavor that comes along with fermented foods. And I've made a video on probiotics during pregnancy and eating more probiotic rich foods during pregnancy, and it is something that is extremely important for you or extremely beneficial for you and your baby. So when we're craving that flavor of vinegar, we might actually be craving the actual fermented foods and all of those amazing probiotics that are in fermented foods. If you're interested in more information on probiotics and probiotic rich food and fermented food in particular, then just check out one of my later videos. Maybe I'll link it in the comments below, and it talks all about probiotics and pregnancy. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was a little bit helpful. Let me know in the comments below if you're craving any similar foods, or let me know what you actually are craving if it's different than these foods. And maybe we can kind of figure out together why you're craving those specific types of foods. I think it's really interesting to listen to our body's signals and then realize like why our body is sending us those signals or those cravings or whatever it might be. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you like this content, if this is your first time at my channel. I enjoy making videos for you guys every week. I will talk to you again very soon. Thank you. Bye.